I just want to say, like, wave your hand if you see me on the screen or something, and everybody's like waving their hand. I think that would be awesome, but you know.
Rachel is such a fun personality to be around. Rachel just sheds joy to everyone else that she comes in contact with. I met Rachel at church camp, and we were waiting in line to get into lunch, and she came up behind me and we just started talking, and immediately it was laughing and it was fun and it was crazy. Rachel has that kind of magic to her, you know, that everybody that comes in contact with her has to laugh. They have to have fun. They have to enjoy themselves, because you just can't stay in a bad mood and be around Rachel. And that's phenomenal to me, with the burden that she carries on her shoulders, the day-to-day stress that she has to deal with what she has, and the hand that she's been dealt. She chooses to shed joy onto others, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease where you overproduce bacteria in your lungs, and then it makes it harder for you to breathe. I wake up and I do breathing treatments and take pills and do a vest, respiratory therapy, and go to a doctor a lot. I think the time that the doctor, whenever I was getting tested for a CF, and it was the very first time, and he walked in the room and he said, "There's a mass on your lungs," and we were like, "What?" Because we first thought cancer, and then he explained to us CF, and then I was like, that's not good because that means something serious is going on.
None of us know how we're going to die. We're not given that part of the story yet. But for Rachel, with CF, she kind of has a possibility that this could be how she dies. But the cool thing about Rachel is it's not about how she might die, it's how she's going to live. And Rachel lives that out every day in front of people, and they just can't miss it. She's living life to the fullest. And people love to be around her because they see that.
I would say having to go to school with like a PICC line in, and then having to do treatments and stuff like that, and then people like ask you at school why you have a PICC line in your arm and why you have to go down to the office and take medicine, and like having to explain to them what it is, and they look at you and they're like, okay, and they just sort of like run away. So yeah.
When I think of Rachel, I think of the many times that she's been in the hospital, and I've gone to see her, and every time Rachel, she brings decorations for the hospital room, and she moves in, whether it's a lava lamp or just different type of fancy lights. She puts all the stuff in there. It cheers the nurses up. It cheers everybody up. Everybody can't wait to see Rachel. You can tell when the doctors walk in, they love Rachel because she brings joy into their lives. And so for somebody who has to go through the crud of CF, it's amazing to see the difference that she can make in people's lives, and I think that is eternity now.
Rachel and I went out to eat just the other night, and I thought we were going to get kicked out of the restaurant because we just kept on laughing and being stupid, and we were annoying, and it's great. She made me feel like I was a little kid again, and it was awesome.
To get closer to God, I feel like doing things with our youth group, first of all, helps because you usually talk about God since you're at church. And doing service work really helps me because just being able to see someone like smile, or being able to help someone and thinking that's something that I put on their face was making them smile. I think having the youth group for me best, like the way they best support me would be having a question and then them answering me honestly, like not having to worry that they're lying or whatever. So
Rachel doesn't like to talk about herself. Sometimes I come in there with this pride of I'm the youth minister and I'm going to be here for this girl, but she asked me, how's your day going? How's life for you? She is more concerned with how everyone else is doing than how she's doing. And when you start asking her questions, she just kind of downplays it. She wants to know how you're doing. That's what she cares the most about. I know that every friend of Rachel's, every family member, every just acquaintance of Rachel is made better because of her, is more joyful because of her. And she's living out that passage in James where it says, consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. She has that joy. She shows it, and Christ just shines through her smile. So.
Most happy time. I would want to say going to TCTC because that's really one of like the happiest times.